So let's start with our bucket fills. We always like to start with gratitude, looking backwards. It's been 3 weeks since we've met. Last meeting we had was 16th of March, so she's bringing lunch.
I have one. I want to
Yes.
say thank you to you for always answering my stupid questions.
You don't have stupid questions. But you
Mine
do.
too.
I
know
I'm glad that we're at a brokerage that is highly collaborative, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a little bit, but I'd like to be available to answer questions. I prefer answering the questions than solving the problems,
Yes.
right?
I'm also thankful for Erica because she even texts me when she's in Hawaii
Right.
asking me to stop working. Because I was working on Easter and she texts me, get out of the office.
And who's setting the example working while she's in Hawaii?
Right? Doing Easter.
Yeah,
but
right.
at least she was paying attention and
Well, there
she
you
did
go.
text me, get out of the office.
Well, the problem is she's in
Easter.
Hawaii looking at the office stuff
Right.
on Easter in Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah. That is even worse. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we all work really hard, and but part of it is because we love what we do and we love working with our agents. So, so good. Yeah, thank you, August. Anybody else? Bucket fill of gratitude.
I just want to say thank you to Augustina and Tima and Sam and Rose for all the hard work that they're putting into not just for Red Day but for our Words Banquet.
Oh,
And just
yeah.
the fact that, I can call on them and ask them to do things and they've just been fantastic.
That's great.
Fantastic. Oh, I also want to thank Lou and Augustina for always being willing to fill in for me when I'm out of town.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah,
last
good.
weekend. I decided on Tuesday I'd had enough. It was time to get out of Dodge.
Right.
So I left for a couple of days, and it's just nice to know that I can call on people
Sure.
to, show my clients or, just fill in for me. It's
Yeah,
been great.
That is great. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Brian.
So Jeremy Chambers wants to thank Irma for being willing to do a last minute open house for him on his listing.
Okay.
He also I'm just gonna read this.
Thank
also,
you, Irma. Yeah.
Also, I have to say that everyone watching Neighborhoods, family, etc., are so impressed at seeing how Kellywood's family pulled together to get our house sold in one day. And then apparently he's thanking me for helping him not get fined. So, and then while I'm talking, I just want to say thank you to Catherine. She is often an unsung hero. She does so much for us, and I didn't even realize until I started stepping into the role I'm in, really how much she does. She's the glue right now, guys.
Yeah.
I second that.
Yeah, me
Amen.
too.
Thank you.
Woo! Thank you, Catherine.
blushing under my pink face.
Yes. Advantage to a mess. Nobody can see you blush.
And then Krista Hopkins just posted thank you to Renee Quigley for allowing Rick to shadow her at the open house.
Oh, great.
And then she also wanted to give a big thanks to Catherine for help with onboarding her 2 new team members.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you, Krista. Yeah, part of the onboarding process. Yeah, I really appreciate the collaboration that happens in our office. Agents being willing to work with one another, show each other around. I know a number of you have had some of our new agents who are in our PC program shadow you for open houses, and even some listing appointments and buyers appointments, and that's been huge for them. I really, really appreciate all of you who've been willing to open up and make yourself available for some of our new agents who really are hungry to learn and really want to have an opportunity to go with somebody and see how they do a listing appointment, see how they do a buyer's consultation, see how they do an open house, right? And so a lot of what we do in real estate is on-the-job training, and so the fact that you're willing to be able to do that and let them shadow you is, I think, a huge benefit. So thank you for doing that to everybody. And when you see, sometimes we'll in our productivity coaching program, we'll tell our agents, go on our family Facebook page and tell them you'd like to do an open house. And if you see them doing it on there, go ahead and, if you have an open house or or are doing one, or have a listing that you'd like a open house, then make sure you jump on that, because they're really hungry. They want to learn. So we got some great new agents in our productivity program right now that I think are really going to do phenomenal. So anybody else? Fill our buckets up with gratitude.
I need to say, it looks like Erica Laka is now watching, and she missed the part where we told her to enjoy her vacation, so I just want to put that back out there.
Yeah.
Get off Facebook. Get on the beach.
Get on the beach, yeah, right.
We're there in spirit.
Yeah, that's right. We are there in spirit, yes. Yeah. Anybody else? Nobody else? So we had some birthdays. We had a lot of birthdays in April. Holy cow. Lots of birthdays. Araceli, Megan, Kaisa.
Hello, April 17th.
I
Yeah,
know.
there's more than one page. Patience.
Oh, there you go.
We had so many, we had to have 2 pages full of birthdays.
It's
So,
like, yeah, it's the springtime.
right?
And it
Yeah,
shows.
it's springtime. That's right. So, all of the, so a lot of birthdays in April. So happy birthday to everybody who had a birthday during that month. We want to celebrate you, and also celebrate those who are new to the Keller Williams. We got some anniversaries: Chris Bauer, Lori Scott Matson, Lori Sherman, or also Landon, right? Delilla, Sue, Katie Mays, Lisa, and Tiffany all have anniversaries. So we want to wish you guys anniversaries too for that. Hi Jennifer.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm enjoying it. I heard some clapping.
So here are the new agents who've joined us just recently. Jenny Warish, and then we have the Coram Homes with Brian Berg and Jesse Fox. And then Lindsay's husband, Andrew, has joined. And Edgardo Coras, who is moving down from Yakima to
Yeah,
the place.
I showed him the office on Sunday.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Good.
that's why I was here.
Yeah, he seems like a great guy.
Yeah, he is a great guy.
Yeah. So, did we welcome Fernando last month?
Yes.
Yeah. Fernando's in our office, and
Yeah.
so a lot of like I said, we got some really great new agents in our office. I'm excited to see them grow. Some congratulations in orders. We've actually got 2 top listings taken. Ken Poletsky, and then also up in our Moses Lake Ephrata office, Kim Randolph-Meany. If you haven't had an opportunity to meet Kim, I encourage you to take time to do. She love that. In fact, Brian and I are going up in a couple of weeks to spend a couple hours up there doing some training. But just a great group of people, and she's running a fabulous team up there. A lot of fun.
Where are you going on Thursday?
That's what
This
we're going.
Thursday, we're going to Walla Walla for a couple hours. Thursday morning. So.
This is Moses Lake, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Moses Lake Ephrata, yeah. So their office is actually in Ephrata, but that's only like 20 minutes away, so it's not
Right.
very far. And they got a cute office up there, and our office in Walla Walla is really cool too.
Don't
So
tell
yeah,
us
Brian
first,
and I
we're going
will
to
be in the Walla Walla office this Thursday morning for a couple hours, and then the following Thursday we're going to go up to. So we're trying to get into our offices, do some in-person training, and just meet and greets and have an opportunity to meet them. Closed units, this last month was Ken Poletsky, the number of closed units, and also written volume. So kind of no surprise there, as well as closed volumes. So, talking about numbers, anybody recognizing that the number of homes we have available doesn't seem to be increasing any?
No.
I mean, really, it's held steady or decreased a little. It's kind of insane that basically as soon as something hits the market, unless it's garbage, it's gone.
Right. Yeah, so
Well, a lot of people aren't even putting them in the MLS.
a lot of them aren't even going in the MLS. A lot of them are being sold off the MLS. So here's the thing I think we need to remind ourselves of. In markets like this, it tends to put a lot of stress on everybody. Buyers agents, listing agents, buyers and sellers, and I know that just the things I'm dealing with and hearing and counseling agents through, it's been really crazy. So I really want to encourage you to really, as much as possible, I know it's very difficult, but as much as possible, be the adult in the room. Sometimes you have to be the adult when you don't want to be. Be the calm in the midst of the storm, right? Sometimes it means having to step back, take a deep breath, and then go back into the situation. Because some of the stuff that we're seeing agents or even clients wanting to fight over is just absolutely insane. And I think it's more a reflection of the market. Although I do think that COVID has affected people's minds too.
Yep.
So you need to keep that in mind in this present market. Now, you know, when I got in and the market was completely flipped and homes were on, it wasn't unusual for homes to be on the market for 4 to 6 months or even longer. It was the sellers who were going crazy, right? So right now it's buyers and buyers agents particularly that, you know, they're just really desperate. And so that tends to cause a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear around that, a lot of pressure around that. And so sometimes if you get people who are responding not in their best self, let me just put it that way, that you don't take it personal. Okay, it is what it is. It's just a reflection of the market. So let's go through these numbers and look. Now we've changed the numbers a little bit. So it's Kennewick, Pasco, Richland, West Richland, Benton City, Burbank, and Findlay. And notice all homes now, including manufactured, on rented lots, right? So we've expanded the numbers a little bit. So they actually appear a little bit better than what they really are.
Show, right? Because we didn't used to put the rented lots.
If you take the rented lots off, the numbers are going to be a little
just
bit
to
worse.
have something in there. I see.
So right now we 214 active listings, 140 54 if you take out the to-be-builts, which is kind of interesting. The low is up a little bit, 39,000. The high is 3,000,007. The average is 514, and the median is 475. But that is up. Not surprised by that at all. If you take out the to-be-builts, the price bumps up a little bit more, which is interesting. I think I pointed this out back in our March 16th meeting. That when you take out the new construction and the to-be-builts, the homes are more expensive than if you put them.
Do you think it's because they're to be built, they are not competing with other buyers when they put their offers on the houses? That's why.
I think what it reflects, and this is my opinion, but I think what it reflects is I think there's such a demand on existing homes.
Yeah.
That home values are existing home values are much higher. You're probably in some price points, not all price points, but in some price points, probably better off to have your clients look at new construction than existing homes.
But there is less fighting and.
Right. Yeah. There's less fighting. Yeah. So that's something to take into consideration. And we're gonna bounce back to last year and take a look here in just a little bit. The days on market are down a little bit. That's not to be expected. And if you take out the to-be-builts, are down as well. Not much though. When we jump over to the pending, we have 264 pending, and that's just tracking since our last family business meeting. So the low and the high is down a little bit, but really hasn't changed that much. But the pending price, as to be expected, is up. But look at the days on market. 23 days on the market versus and 3 median days. And then when we go to the solds, the 340 average for the first 3 months here, 1,038 sold. The low is 89.9, the high 1.2. The average is 372.9, and the median is 350, with a days on market of 27 and median at 6. So, what do these numbers seem to reflect about our market?
That is still a seller's market.
Still a seller's market. What
But
else?
it's not going down.
So how do you need to be advising your buyers?
you need to be pre-approved. You need to have all your ducks in a row. And when there's a house you want to look at, you have to be ready to see and put an offer in on the same day.
Yeah.
So
You
when
don't
you're
have time to
doing,
mull
when you're
over.
doing a buyer's consultation, and I think this is a reflection in the changes, if you've been paying attention to the form revision changes, the changes we saw in the 22A, the finance addendum, how important is it for you to have a discussion in your buyer's consultation around the lender that your buyer is using?
It's extremely
Huge.
important.
It's extremely important. It's huge now.
Yeah.
Huge. So the days are gone when you can just fly by whatever lender your buyer has come to the table with. Those days are gone.
Have you been seeing like the lenders that they are available? They are able to fulfill those days, and like
The 21 days?
Yes. Or what is what you have seen with the
I
transactions?
haven't
right
seen
now?
a lot of pushback on that yet, but we're still pretty early in the
Yeah.
game. So I'm still really interested to get feedback from any lenders around that. So I'd really love to have some lenders in here and have them discuss how that's affecting them.
So I have called my current lenders, and they are asking to please write that number out right now.
Right.
While they are capable of getting all their work done, the appraisal is still the holdup,
Correct.
and they can't control that. They're like, I can't. With that appraisal comes in low and the finance contingency is gone, what do you expect us to do about it?
Right.
And so that's the difficult part right now, because if you can write it with the 21 days to be more competitive, and you're taking a risk that if that appraisal doesn't come in that time frame.
Well, you are taking a risk, yeah, and the buyer has to make a decision what they're going to do. Now, that's not to say that you get to the 20 day and you realize the appraisal's not going to become that you ask for an extension with the seller, right?
Yeah.
So I think you can still write it 21 days, but you better be on top of your game as far as keeping track of your contingency periods.
One of the things that I have seen that lenders are doing different these days, and I kind of like it, is they're including the listing agent in all their communications with the buyer's agent,
Right.
which I think is amazing, because before we weren't included in those communications, and
Right.
now I think like this year and the last year, at the end of the year, I start seeing that, and it kind of helped us just to prepare the seller if the appraisal is not there. At least I prepare my sellers, just telling them, hey, the appraisal is not been done, so chances are that they will have to extend this period.
Yeah, and I think, August, that comes back to the communication part of
Yeah.
that, right? Having confidence and having that discussion in that buyer's consultation, the importance of having a lender
That
who
communicates.
that communicates, right? Exactly right. And now that it's written in the finance addendum that upon mutual acceptance, listing agent and seller can contact buyer's lender, I think that should make that much more clear.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's just a good thing anyway. So,
Another thing that I've been seeing come out of the new change to the financing addendum is more communication with the appraisers as well. I've been having a lot of conversations as of late with appraisers on properties, that are saying, hey, listen, we know the market's on fire,
right,
but this offer price, this purchase price we can't support it.
right,
So the appraisers, what I'm noticing, are taking a bit more of a conservative approach in
Right.
their appraisals right now, and saying, you need to be preparing not just your seller, but buyer agent, you need to be preparing your buyer as well, because if this goes sideways,
Right.
they need to be prepared to maybe have more money, bring more money, put more money down, more money at the closing table, and Mr. and Mrs. Howard, you need to be prepared as well.
sure.
So, some interesting conversations are coming out of it,
Yeah.
I think.
That's good. Yeah. So yeah, conversations with the appraisers I think is going to be huge. So yeah, Brian.
Well, I just wanted to add with what Renee's saying too is when you're writing an offer for a buyer, it's easy to get caught up in this highest possible price hike. But I've won a few offers the last little bit because I've actually written an offer that was high, but within the realm of what could appraise. And
Right.
the agents were like, "Oh, hey, this one's actually going to be able to close. The other
Right.
one maybe not.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you seen like in national level, tons of agents, I've been looking in Facebook that they are complaining that the appraisals are coming low. I haven't experienced that yet in this market. I'm not seeing it, or are we seeing that the appraisals are coming back?
I've
low?
seen a few, but not as near as many as I would expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had 2 left. 2 weeks ago, I had 2 come in
Yeah,
low.
and I
You
just
do?
had one come in low too.
Yeah. Yeah, so as crazy
I
as the
haven't heard
price points are, I would expect to see a lot more, but we have seen a few. So, yeah, it really depends. What's interesting is, Katie and I did a market analysis in Kennewick, and I just had done one this last weekend in West Richland. What was interesting to me was homes that were sold off market, in other words, for sale by owners, sold for higher prices than homes that were sold by agents.
Well, that is a change because before it
Yeah,
used
this
to
is
be
very
the
much a
opposite.
change. Yeah, it used to be the opposite.
Yeah, that's not a
So,
big
I'm just, I'm reading the bones we're throwing on the table, right? Or the animal entrails. What does it mean? But I think that, agents are to that point to where they're becoming a lot more conservative about the value or the prices of what sellers are wanting to sell homes for. But it's surprising to me that for sale by owners, are getting the prices that they want and at crazy amounts. And I think that just again speaks to the crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder
Market.
of that amount of FSBOs that are getting, above market price, how many of them are actually closing? And
Well,
what are-
these are sold
They're all
properties.
sold.
They're all sold
Okay.
properties, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, very
I'm wondering
interesting.
what kind of concessions or anything was needing to.
Well, that, we don't know, but that would be interesting to find out, but, yeah, very, very interesting. Well, so, look at these, I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly here, but go back a year, right? And let's look at, homes from last year. Last year, we had 513 homes, compared to 214.
Wow.
Wow.
100 less.
We thought
464 if you took out the 2B bills, right?
It's 150.
Notice the average price, 413, 408. Oop, went the wrong way. 514, 547. $100,000 in a year. Notice days on the market haven't changed that much. 66 days and 64. Good grief, Ron. Versus 63 and 61. So days on the market really haven't changed that much for active listings. Oh, good grief, Ron. You're,
All right, I need
That's
to.
right. It's funny because the pending is half.
Not my mouse?
notice the pending,
They're half.
right?
Yeah.
Right, Calvin.
Ron, I'm gonna buy the bicycle. I
I have a mouse, 264
said it the
versus 588 pending.
Next time we just have to put them side
Now,
by
what's
side.
interesting here is notice the solds.
Yeah. 1,038 this year. 1,088 last year.
Yeah.
Why is that? That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Is that recorded on the MLS or recorded with the county?
Oh, that's a good question.
You know what I think's going on there?
I think that Erica pulls these off the MLS. I don't think it includes the county.
For sale by owner.
Right.
Interesting.
So what I think might be going on with that sold number is new construction is such a big piece of the market right now
Right.
that they're not going into the MLS until the agents have them sold, and then they're putting them in for comp purposes.
Right.
And I think that's inflating that number.
Yeah. So very, very interesting when you compare year over to year numbers. Now, here, before I move on to the broker moment, I was listening to a podcast yesterday and been doing some reading on, just trying to stay ahead of the market. And we were talking about this morning with Renee and Brian, and I talked with August and a couple other people. I think our office, and I think every agent in our office, really needs to dial into the and get ahead of the game as far as what's coming down in pre-foreclosures. There's a huge pile of homes that are in pre-foreclosure status.
Can we have a class about it?
Well, as a matter of fact,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So Renee and Jeremy Chambers are going to do a class in May.
Awesome.
Renee actually took a KW class last fall. You said it was an hour a week for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So so we're going to have a class around that, because here's the thing: is there's twice as many homes in pre-foreclosure than there was in 2007.
This is going to be a mess.
So right now, what I was listening to last night, the CFPB extended the moratorium until the end of June, and they could extend it again. All they're doing is they're kicking the can down the road, right? One of the other solutions they came up with was possibly for lenders to extend home loans from 30 years to 40 years. But again, that's kicking the can down the road.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of homeowners that will survive, they'll get through it. They might come up with creative financing or work something out with their lender, but there's going to be a lot of homeowners who aren't. And so I really strongly encourage you, and this is why we want to have this class, is to get on the front end of this and be the agents who are on the front porch, who already have a relationship with these people, and not going after them because you're the shark in the tank, but going after them so that you can provide a high level of service, because there are some people who are going to have to make a very difficult and emotional decision to let their home go. And if you position yourself right, you could be the agent that could help provide the service for them through that time in their life, through that transition. And so I really think that there's a huge potential to tap into there if we can get that right. So we're hoping to do the class and keep you abreast of what that's going on and how you can be a part of that. All right. So just a heads up. Okay, that kind of goes into some of the numbers we're seeing, because because of the forbearance and everything that's going on, you're even aware of it. Those of you who have investors, we have a lot of renters who are in arrears, and as soon as that moratorium ends, their rent's going to be due. Mm-hmm. And I've got a investor right now he's dumping his rental properties, and I've got another guy I'm talking to, and he's talking about dumping his rental properties. So a lot of investors are dumping their rental properties, and those.
I have all my investors. They've been selling all of them. I
Correct.
sold 8 of them for one, and I have the other one that we're starting to.
And so we're seeing the same thing in the rental market, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, okay. So broker moment here. Let me quickly go through this. I don't want to spend a lot of time in this. I want to reiterate what I talked about last month about our office security and safety. There's been a few times, I don't know that since I mentioned this last time, but I think this is important to remind ourselves. For our personal protection and our personal property that a lot of us leave here in the building, to make sure that after hours the front doors are locked. Keep in mind that even though you may be up front, there might be people in the back office here, and now that we have access to the Cardinal office, anybody can walk through those doors and start snatching laptops.
What is after hours office? At what time is when we need to be locking all the doors?
Well, that's a great question. I've always said 7 o'clock. I'm usually here till 7 or 7:30.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
The office closes at 6.
Yeah.
The office is supposed to close. But here's the thing.
5:30.
If you're in the back and you don't know that the last person on the front has left, you don't know what's going on up front there. So if you know that you're one of the last people in the building, just do a walkthrough and see if anybody's here, and then say, hey, I know that I would appreciate if somebody had seen me and said, hey, I'm leaving, I'll go ahead and lock the front door. That way I don't have to worry about somebody coming in the front door.
Just as a rule after 5:30, just lock the door.
Just lock the door. and turn out the lights. Although, like I said last time, the lights aren't as big as an issue as just securing the doors. If the lights get left on, lights get left on. And the fact of the matter is when you turn off the lights, there's a lot of lights that stay on for emergency services. So, and security, so not all the lights are going to be turned on anyway, but the big thing is turning out or locking the doors. And if you don't have a key, you can lock the front door from the inside and just go through the back, one of the back doors through the breaker bar. And our office will be secure, all right? Let me remind you about parking. The upper lot is for clients and guests only. We only have 3 designated spaces per our agreement with Crown Properties. And it's really disappointing when we have elderly clients who come in and they can't get into our office because our upper office space is plugged with our agents. So to help service our clients and our customers, park down below. That'll leave, I know that you would appreciate it if you had clients who were coming to our office where they had access, easy access to our office, particularly those who might have mobility issues. And so you should not be parking up here, you should be parking down below. The only exception that we've been allowing is if you're doing a pickup or a drop off, right? And you shouldn't be there for more than 15 minutes. We really want to leave those upper lots available for our clients and customers. So all of our agents should be using the lower parking lots. Besides that, the vast majority of us could use to get more steps in our day. So, I know I'm one of them. I park far down at the end of the parking lot so I can get extra steps in. So, then I try to get a walk in every day, although I don't do that really well. Let me remind you about COVID. I'm not going to go through all the COVID protocol rules for phase 3, but I need to remind you that we are in phase 3 and there are protocol rules that go with phase 3. You need to know what they are. I'm not going to cover them here. If you don't know what they are, they're available on the Washington Realtor site. They're available on the Washington State site. And they were posted about a month ago when we first went into phase 3 on our Facebook site. So they're easily available to you. Look them up and know what they are. And my caution to you is tell your clients and remind yourself that every time you're going in a home, you are on camera. Just assume that. Just assume it. That you are on camera, you are being recorded. Right? And we can argue about the legality of that later on, but for your protection and theirs, you need to assume that you are being recorded. Right? And so, enough of that. I'm resuming my forms classes. So month of March, I took the time off to spend the whole month going over forms revisions. So I'll be resuming those tomorrow night at 4:30 every Wednesday from 4:30 and finish about 5:45, 6 o'clock. Let me remind you of the forms tools that are available to you. You should have access at least to the Northwest MLS Express form site if you're not a member of the Northwest MLS. If you can't remember how you got there or don't think you have access to get there, get a hold of one of us in the office here, myself or Catherine can get you hooked up to that. The Washington Realtors Legal Hotline is also available to you. And now they have just finished updating that part of the Washington Realtors website. So now that you can search the questions and you'll have access to all the videos that Annie Fitzsimmons has done. If you have not watched the dangerous practices of brokers that Annie Fitzsimmons just finished, is like an 8 or 9 part series. I really strongly encourage you to watch those. And she talks a number of things that are happening. A lot of the practices that reflect what are going on the other side of the state, but I think serve as a good warning for us too. The other is that within your Google Drive folder, in your Google Drive, you have a shared folder. In there you have agent resources, and in agent resources you have firm broker resources. And in that folder you have zip form templates. So you have access to all the templates that I put together for any of the transactions you might write. So if you're wondering, I've never done a condominium, what forms I should have, they're right there in your shared drive, okay? If you have not gone through any of the forms revisions classes, You have to. And the only way you're going to do that right now is go online and watch the ones that Annie Fitzsimmons does. There's a free one that she's done. Takes about 2.5 hours to go through it, but she covers all of the forms, and you can zip through the boring parts, and so you can probably tighten it up to an hour and a half. But you need to know the forms. We've already had, fortunately not reflecting our offices because we're so good, but we've had 8 cooperative agents from other firms who are using old forms, which is not the end of the world. They're still legal forms, but they could put their client at a disadvantage. So
Are they still legal?
huh?
Are they still legal?
They're still legal.
Even if the transaction is starting right now after the new forms were put in effect?
If they're what?
Even if the transactions are starting right now when the other forms, you know, the
Yes.
new forms are in
Yeah,
effect?
Annie said that we can still use those forms. We can even combine the old forms with the new forms. However, we need to be aware that they could have a negative impact upon our clients.
Yeah.
But they could also benefit, the new forms could benefit our clients too if we inserted them into a transaction in which old forms have been used, right? Let me remind you of managing broker hours, right? I really try hard to be as available as possible. And so I thought it might be really good to remind you that I want to be of service of a high value at a high level. I know the value as being an agent. I know the value of being able to pick up the phone or send a text message or send an email and have confidence that the managing broker, designated broker, is going to get back to you in a reasonable amount of time. Having said that, please give me time to respond before you start reaching out to Erica or somebody else. It's kind of frustrating for me to get a phone call or a text message, and then after I get done with my stuff, finally get around to you and to find out that you've reached out to somebody else. So give me time to respond. Or let me know that never mind, I called Brian, or never mind, I got a hold of whoever, Erica, whoever. Usually I will respond within a couple hours, depending on what time of day it is, right? So please be patient. If you're on a team, your team leader should be your number one reach. That should be your first contact. The exception would be if your team leader's on the other side of the transaction. In that case, our firm is a dual agent, and so you might not want to consult your team leader who's representing the seller or the buyer on the other side of the transaction. So keep that in mind, right? Contract sensitive time items. If I will be available up to 9 p.m. at night. Not a problem, because I realize that sometimes we have to respond by 9 p.m. at night. But if it's after 9 p.m., don't expect me to, or anybody to respond. Just wait for the next day. And I really appreciated an agent in our office who sent me a text really late last night, and I went ahead and responded, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't expect you to respond till the next day." And I thought, Ron, what are you doing to yourself, Ron?
Now they're gonna expect it.
Right? So
I'm
gonna try really hard, like Erica. I'm gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna try and not answer text messages and emails. So keep in mind on Sundays, Sunday mornings is my church time and my family time. Unless it's an absolute emergency on Sunday mornings, I am not paying attention to my phone. And as a matter of fact, some of you know, I am still a clergy person, so every once in a while I fill a pulpit. And if you want to be a sermon illustration in the middle of my sermon, go ahead and give me a call on a Sunday morning, because you could end up being a phone call. I actually did that to my son one morning. I was preaching at a church here in town, and my phone rang in the middle of my sermon. I forgot to silence it, of course, and I happened to pull out my phone to silence it, but then I saw it was my son. So I thought, I'll have some fun with this. So I actually took the phone call in the middle of my sermon. Hey, what do you think I'm doing right now? It's a Sunday morning. So keep in mind, Sunday mornings, unless it's an emergency, text me. This is an emergency. I need to talk to you right now, because I will look at my phone. It's like a smoker, who's done smoking, constantly reaching for his cigarettes. Broker on call. Brian Verhey will be the broker on call if I'm not available. And so I'm trying to take a weekend off every month. It's hard. So if I'm not available, or if there's an emergency, if I'm on vacation, or if there's an emergency and you need to get a hold of somebody, Brian is our backup broker. Having said that, the ALC is also available, right? We have other people who are managing brokers in our office, and we have a highly collaborative office. There's probably not an experienced agent in our office that you couldn't call and work things out through. You know, if I do that, I've told Erica, unless the fire gets to my desk and I think I can't handle it, you're not going to hear from me. But if I feel like the fire is going to get past my desk, then I call Erica. Because I might not know, or I might be second guessing myself. That's a lot of it, right? I get a lot of those calls from you all, right? I think I know the answer to this, but I just want to talk this, or I just want to act. Yeah, you got it right. All right. So Erica's kind of that for me. If it's an emergency, call me and then follow it up immediately with a text. If I get a phone call and you don't leave a message, you're going to wait until I'm available. But if I get a phone call and I immediately get a text message that says, I need you to call me, you get a response a lot sooner. But it better be an emergency, right? And Katie Copeland sits right next to me. She knows my calendar. So if it's an emergency and you can't get a hold of me and you really need to get a hold of me, try getting a hold of Katie. And she will know where I am and she'll have access to get a hold of me too, right?
Just realize I'm also the gatekeeper.
She's also my gatekeeper, yes. Right. Let me impress upon you that try to honor our vacation times and our time off. I appreciate Erica being available, and I know I've done the same thing, and our spouses hate it, but if you know that we're on vacation, if you know that if we're taking time off, really try to honor that. Again, unless it's an emergency, we're there for you. Okay, does that make sense?
Well, and if Ron's on emergency, call me. I can handle 90% of it.
Yeah, we have a lot of great agents with a lot of experience who've gone through the training, have their managing broker's license. All right. Okay. DocuSign.
Yep.
Mr. Verhout.
Yeah, so this is being taught by the region. Did my phone ring the second I get up?
Yeah.
It did.
Well, I'm teaching. They don't, or I'm talking. They don't need to worry about it. So this is being taught regional wide. I'll be involved in it as well as Laura Posey, our regional tech trainer. We just went through, a bunch of us and more of us going through the DocuSign Train the Trainer class, and it's really a high level look of what DocuSign can do for you. I'm sure some of you have seen either my Facebook Live or the video I just posted yesterday explaining how you can email documents directly to your DocuSign room to meet compliance for the contract communication section. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what we can do in DocuSign, and I didn't even know until recently how deep it could go. So please show up to this training. You register in advance on Zoom. We are going to have emails coming out to you to help you, remind you, as well as posting on Facebook, but I can't overstate the value of this class. It will help automate your business, and it will help you be more legally compliant in case something happens 10 years down the road. If you don't remember what email you sent, you'll have a better way to make sure it's in the file so you're protected. So, again, cannot stress that one enough. Ooh, your computer's talking around. So what I have here is I want to talk a little bit about smart plans, in particular adding a plan from the smart plan library. So this is just going through how you do that. I just did a search here for Facebook to show Facebook smart plans. How many of you are currently using a smart plan in your business? So if you didn't raise your hand, which I think everyone here did, but maybe someone on Facebook plan didn't, you really ought to use a smart plan. What they do is they help keep you on track, and they help automate your business to make you the tech-enabled agent that you hear us talk about with Keller Williams. Really, when you use Twilio and you set up the emails and everything on Smart Plan, you don't have to guess what you need to do to follow up with your clients. You have a plan that's being executed, and if you need to take action, it's going to show up on your task and command as part of a to-do list. So please, I just want to remind everyone to use these. Oh, it's not looping like I wanted it to. We didn't test it enough. No. To please take the step. The library has literally tens of thousands of different smart plans that have been created by either Keller Williams or other agents such as myself. Please go utilize that so you don't have to start from square one. But this can really help you out, help leverage and save time. And guys, there's a
competition going on in the region to see which market center can improve their smart plan usage, and we can win training and other special guests. We're talking, Keller Roads corporate, maybe not here in Keller, but up at that level, to come pay a visit via Zoom and help us learn and teach. I'm very competitive, so please help us win this thing. Let's help each other get on smart plans and help each other realize more out of our business. And of course, I want to always reiterate, I have office hours. So these hours, I'm always available to help you out unless there's something going on, like my vacation coming up over this weekend. However, I want to make sure I'm available for you. If you need help outside of these hours, text me, call me, we can set an appointment. But at these times, I'm going to be sitting in the office waiting to help you out, and I'm going to also be on Zoom, so you can call in if you're unable to make it to the office and be on Zoom and get some tech help. So that way you guys don't have to wonder, oh, is Brian available? Well, no, he is. It's right there.
If your office hours are canceled, they're actually noted as canceled on the calendar, so everybody's aware, if that's the case. They're not just removed, so we make sure that you stay informed about Brian's hours. And we need to reset it,
Reset what?
the spreadsheet, I made changes.
Oh. We just refresh it, right?
Yep. Thank you.
Alright, I believe that last slide here for me. Winning Command Wednesday is going to be renamed. When you think Winning Command Wednesday, you think it's been a basic technology class, which is what it was. But we're moving past the click-by-click training, and we're moving forward into an era of really focusing on what Command can do with your business. So please show up to Winning Command Wednesdays, noon to 1 every Wednesday, and look for new titles each week for what we're going to be covering. I have a lot of great deep dives about how we can leverage technology to give you back more time. Like it. And looks like it's Catherine's turn.
It is my turn. Hi, Facebook land. Okay, so I know everybody has probably experienced at least one situation of frustration over trying to reserve one of our conference rooms. We do have 2 conference rooms at this time in addition to this training room that we are sitting in right now. Both of those plus this room have calendar reservations available online through the mykw.kw app or website if you go to the My Market Center. This will now be the primary and only method to reserve the conference rooms, and this is what will be posted at the front door by those rooms for what's going on that day. If you're not on the calendar, I cannot guarantee that that room is available for you. You have to go and do this online. We do have a reason why for this. I get a lot of emails of people who are in and out of the office a lot asking if they can get the conference room for a certain time. I am not always here, and I am not always in my email. And that is not fair or equal opportunity to everybody within the building. So this is going to be the only method to guarantee you have this room. And this just makes it equal opportunity for everybody within Keller Williams Tri-Cities. This is what you will see posted outside of the doors. If you have gone online before today and put in a reservation, it will be typed up as to who owns that hour. Instructions are also posted behind these pages on each door to walk you through if you do not know how to do this, and one of either myself or Brian are not here to walk you through this. It's really, really simple. It takes less than 30 seconds to actually put your name on the calendar, and I'm happy to walk you through it if you come to see me and don't know how. I think I put this one in. Okay. The other thing that's really, really exciting is if you've ever seen these Market Center emails, you probably auto-trash them because they've never had anything in it, at least since I've been here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, why am I getting this?
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing there.
There is now stuff on this, and this is actually just what showed up on one screen of my email. This is from my email. I actually sent out an announcement reminding everybody that we were out of the office on Friday for office, even though you could still be here and work. It was Good Friday and technically Keller Williams our office staff was not here. But what you'll see is upcoming events. Everything that's listed on our calendar will give you a link. Now if you click on it, it's gonna ask you to log in. But it's gonna take you to your MyKW, or My Market Center through mykw.kw.com, and then you're gonna see a calendar that looks like this.
You have to be signed up in Google with your Keller Williams account in order to access
Yes,
it.
you do have to use your KW email to do this. Unless, as an example, my email is not a kw.com email, it is kellerwilliamstc.com. I have it set up in my profile that this is the email I get this stuff to. If you need to update that, I am happy to walk you through that. It's very, very simple. But I get an email that looks like this. Actually, sorry, that one. And then I log into a calendar that looks like this. And now, when I put reservations on it, what I see is actually gray boxes on the calendar on my view that shows me I have a reservation for one of the training rooms or the conference rooms, which is really, really helpful. So you'll see all of that on this calendar. You can click on these. We are still using Eventbrite for everything in person because we are still limited by phase 3 of number of people in this room. So they will have a live link where you can go and you can put your reservation online. This is in addition to the calendar at goeatkey.com that we still are utilizing. So this is just another avenue for you. But if you don't get this email anymore, if you set it to like not send it to you or you auto-trashed it, I highly recommend you auto-trash it or come see me and I'll help you get it set up so you get that email every day. Okay? I'm really, really excited about this, and it's been a long time coming. Since I've been here since October, this hasn't actually done anything. So it's really exciting to see this starting to fill out. Awesome. Upcoming events throughout the month of April. Of course, we quarterly are going to be running Ignite. So Ignite Spark and Elementals rotate. They are technically partnered together. We are starting Ignite Spark again on April 19th. It runs for 2 weeks, 5 days each, obviously. If you want to register, it is on the Eventbrite, and it's on our goeatkey.com. It's also on the My Market Center calendar where you can go and you can sign up there. And then I am going to invite Renee up to talk about our gala.
Alrighty, well, I'm really, really excited about this because I don't know about you guys, but it's been a long time since we've been able to do anything social together. And so we're going to kick off the social season with our Keller Williams Awards Banquet. It's going to be on Saturday, May 15th, thank you. And we're going to be hosting it at Events at Sunset, which is off the 240 bypass. If you follow the fence line at Ian's, they have this amazing event center, very private event center back there that we're going to be hosting our awards banquet at. So our theme is masquerade, and so we're kind of playing off the fact that we still have to wear social masks, right? So if we have to wear a mask, let's make it fun, and let's make it a masquerade type of an event. Okay, so we want to encourage you guys to get dressed up, and just really join in on the theme. So this is going to be, like I said, on May 15th from 6 to 9 p.m. It is featuring, of course, door prizes and swag, and we've got a really fun evening planned for all of you guys. Tickets are going to be available on Eventbrite beginning early next week. It's $35 per agent or $55 for a couple, okay? And that's going to be through April 30th, and then the ticket price is going to go up after that, and that's just because we've got to get a head count turned in for our caterer for reservations and whatnot. So, as you can see, we've got door prizes, we've got swag. It's going to be an evening of light appetizers. There will be a no-host bar, so you can get beer and wine, okay? And then we're going to do a family-style dinner. So tables will be limited to groups of 6, so that are 6 individuals, not groups of 6. 6 individuals at a table. It'll be family-style dinner, so you don't have to get up and get down to go through a line, anything of that nature. The food will be brought right to you at your table, and then of course we're going to have some amazing awards both on the Keller Williams official, level, and then of course just fun stuff for our market center.
And Renee, we are giving also the awards from last year that they
Yes.
won delivered.
Yes. So last year we didn't have an opportunity to get all of the awards delivered to everyone. So if you're thinking that you might not have won an award this year, but you won one last year, you need to come anyway, okay? So that we can give you your award and get them out of storage. And just recognize all of our amazing agents. And for those of you that are on Facebook and watching this, if you're new to Keller Williams Senior Center Market Center, we want to encourage you to come anyway, because this is a great time for us to be able to connect and to engage with each other on just a really fun social level. And so be sure and buy your tickets. Catherine will be sending out an email that has a link for you to purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. You are also all going to receive a personal invitation. So the Culture Committee, we're going to be assembling invitations this week. They'll be out in the mail by Friday. You will have a hand-delivered or hand-mailed invitation. So there's no reason for you to not know about Awards Banquet, okay? All right, I'm done. So next, Augustina is going to talk to you guys about Red Day.
Super fast. Hi guys, I want to talk about what is Red Day, and for those that are new to Keller Williams, it's the day that all the Keller Williams, not only this market center, every market center in the world, stops working and just gives back to their community. I go low.
No, slow down. The mic
Oh,
isn't
okay.
picking up everything.
Shocker.
Sorry, technology can't keep up with you, August.
Yes, I'm talking about Red Day. So, what are we going to do this year? We are going to be helping Friends Place. Is a non-profit organization. It's a shelter for teenagers in Kennewick. And what are we going to be doing? Yes, you need to drop your clients that day. We need you here. Is Red Day about wearing red? Yes, it is. But it's not the only thing. We are also going to be fixing broken cabinets. We are going to be putting in order all the donations for Friends Place. We are going to do tons of landscape. What this means? Bring your tools. If you have a green thumb, I want you, I need you. We are going to be mowing grass, we are going to be putting grass, we are going to be planting flowers, we are going to be painting flower beds and pots. We also need a bike repairman. They have tons of bikes that they can use. So if you have anybody that is repairs bikes or know how to do it, please get in connection with us. I'm talking to you, Jennifer Trent. We need you. And then if you're a handyman, I know she just left. If you're a handyman, bring your tools. We need you. We need to repair tons of stuff for these kids. Water is going to be provided. You get a t-shirt, a fabulous Red Day t-shirt from Keller Williams. When you volunteer, it's our way to tell you thank you. Lunch is going to be provided. So you just come, let's work together and let's give back to our community. That's pretty much it. We are going to have a list of donations that we need. If you can come and you want to help us, I take your money any day. So cash, credit card, whatever you have, I can cash you. So that's pretty much what we need from you, and I hope everybody can do it May 13th. This is the way that we say we are committed to our community. So please come and help us. Thank you.
I got one more, and I'll jump out of it real quick. Hi guys, I know we're running a little bit over our noon time frame, but thank you so much, Renee and Augustina, for talking about our upcoming bigger events. We are really excited to have Red Day, our day of volunteer that we give back to our community, and of course our gala, which is basically our day to give back to our market center, which is really exciting. And we get to dress up and have some fun. At the end of this month, we are doing Meet Your Leadership Team Agent Orientation. This is open to all. So there are some things that you might have missed during your orientation or onboarding process that maybe I didn't get to, or you haven't had the opportunity to meet with us to do all of it. Please feel free to come and see all of the ELT team on April 23rd. That's 2 Fridays from this upcoming Friday. It's only from 2:30 to 3:30, and you can kind of come and listen. If you get something out of it, we're super excited. If you hear stuff that you have already heard but maybe we're reiterating it, that's also really exciting. Please come and see us on that day. We do have other events coming up. I won't talk about these too much. These are on the Go E2P calendar, and they are also on the My Market Center. Oh, one more thing. Do we have that one? As a heads up, make sure you save the date. We are doing a family event as well. Following our awards banquet, we are doing our bonfire beef and brews at Erica Locke's homes, at our Glorious Teen Leaders home, on Saturday, June 26th from 3 to 8 p.m. Bring your family. We're super excited to see all of our Keller Williams family along with yours.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much, appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm excited about our events coming up. It's nice to be able to do things together again. And I'm really excited about the gala coming, as well as supporting My Friend's Place. I've been involved with groups who've done My Friend's Place before. It's a great opportunity to help some of our homeless teams in our community. It'll really, just listening to their stories will really profoundly affect you. So thank you all for your time today. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop by my office or see Catherine or talk to Brian, and we will look forward to seeing you. Today's the 6th, 13th, 20th. April 20th will be our next family business meeting. Thank you. Appreciate it.